What's good, YouTube? DOA Hitman here, welcoming you to the channel. So I'm going to give you an update, a rundown on what's going on with the channel, why it hasn't been content in a while, as well as some potential roasting going around. So, in regards to the whole streaming and everything else, I'm going to try and see if I can get this where you guys can see. Hopefully you'll be able to see. If not, I apologize. I'm probably going to do a whole lighting adjustment and everything else. But if you can see down there, you probably can't. But that little black spot you can't see there, if I can get a better view. Nope, can't get it on camera. Let me pull it out for you. As you can see, is, hang on, I gotta adjust everything here because the way my family throws crap in there. Can't really see it, apparently, but you can see that's the PS4. Why is it down here? Why is it not hooked up? Why is it not got its hard drive inside? The system has a freaking screwed up fan inside. I'm too lazy to get it sent out and repaired for $75. Not happening. Sorry, Sony. I'm not spending $75 that I'm not getting, having my parents gonna spend $75 that they're not gonna get back just to go send out that piece of crap to you guys to get it repaired with just a fan and a disk drive fix and hope that I'm still gonna have my hard drive. Nah, I don't even want to have to worry about that. That's why I took the hard drive out. So my parents might end up just renting a freaking PS4 with a 1 terabyte hard drive that's gonna have MLB The Show, and it'll only cost us like 20 bucks a week, which by the time you pay it off is the value of that system plus a game included. And you're paying the value of the system alone. You're not paying for the game value. The game value is incorporated into the pricing. It's like if you bought a bundled system like Uncharted and stuff. And it'll allow me to play all my games that are on disc that I want to play. And, of course, TTC got to represent the New York Giants. If you're a Giants fan, stand up. If you're a Cowgirls fan, sit your booties down. We don't deal with Cowgirls fans in this chat. If you don't like it, bye-bye. Now, T-Belly. Hopefully you'll see this, my dude. I'm going to also post this on Twitter for you to see. This roast, you've had it coming for a long-ass time, my boy. From everything from what you did on your stream where you were flipping out because I was teasing and joking around with, what was it? Farah, I was joking around. All she said was hi. You were drunk off your ass, didn't know the situation, and freaking went and lost your freaking mind, which I thought was funny. That's why I was being a savage. That was my example of roasting you, but not to the fullest extent. The roast can happen anytime, anywhere, any form I want them to. That was just a small step in the roast, T-Belly. Small step. It's like planting the seed to your demise. It's like with WCW when they had freaking Eric Bischoff in there just ruining shit and things just went and just exploded on Impact, and then WWE brought him in, and WWE's fucked themselves. Enough said. WWE fucked themselves a long time ago when they brought in, who was it? I'm trying to think. Because in 0203, the first like modern draft, which was in the Ruthless Aggression era, which was when Brock did his, technically his second run, but also his first run. It was, Stephanie was SmackDown, Bischoff was Raw, then it changed to, I believe, Coachman on Raw, Heyman on SmackDown, and then it was Heyman on Smack. No, it started Vince and Flair, not in that order. Then it went then it went to Steph Bischoff, not in that order. Obviously, I'm just listing who was GMs. And then it went to Heyman and Bischoff, then Coachman and Heyman, and then all over the place from there, and I just gave up. Hey, Jeff, good gamer, good to see ya. So, if you missed it, Jeff, I explained why I haven't used my PS4, which is down over there. That's because the freaking fan stuff is fried. I just need to get a whole new system. I'm not having my parents spend $75 that they're not getting back to go send it out. No. Especially when we can get a system through a site and we're paying the value of a bundled system and we're only paying like 20 bucks a week to rent it and I get it instantly and it's coming with a game that's current. So, but yeah. I gotta represent this. But yeah. So basically, the PS4 is fucked. I'm gonna have a new system. Shockingly, my parents didn't flip out over that. The only time they flipped out was when it came to the iPad. I was shocked. My mom, usually, she flips out about every major expensive thing that breaks. For once, she wasn't mad about the PS4. She was mad about something stupid related to that stupid recliner that I was sitting in for half a second a moment ago. So, now, regards to the Giants, how are they going to stand up? Also, I want to show you guys here. This is my dad's fantasy football thing. He's trading players around and stuff. But currently, if you can see it, I don't know if you can see it very well. might be in reverse for you. Right there. Running back. S. Barkley. That's Saquon Barkley. The New York Giants motherfucking running back they just drafted, boys. Also, when I mean business, hat goes backwards. I never wear it normal when I'm in rage mode or I'm in freaking trash talk mode. Literally, Cowgirls better watch their back. The freaking Eagles better watch their back. The freaking, what is it there? The fucking Redskins. Watch your back. The New York Giants are going to be a team to be reckoned with. They got Nate Solder. They got Ingram. They've got Beckham. They've got Saquon. They've got Eli, who, if he plays as good as he's been recently, he's going to do better than he's done in the last few seasons. I mean, come on. He's got a freaking offense and defense that can surround him and give him cover. He can get the ball off to Saquon if he can't get out of the pocket. So he doesn't have to throw it away or risk getting fumbles or interceptions or sacks or what have you. And he's also just all around. The team's just so much better this season. I think they're going to go somewhere. Honestly, the only time, this is saying something, the only time there might be a threat, I hate to admit it, is with Shondo from the Bastards, his team of the Bears. That's the only time I could see a potential threat for the Giants. Because they just picked up an amazing player in that of Khalil Mack from the Raiders. They traded him. The Raiders traded to the Bears him and 2 picks for the 2019 draft. And they got like 6 picks for the next year to 2 years. So, but honestly, aside from that, I think if any team's going to dominate this season aside from the Giants, assuming they put in the right kind of players, the Browns actually could have a good run this season, especially with that rookie. I mean, come on. Don't underestimate Baker Mayfield. All right? That's just my opinion. Now, I want to know, would you guys, if I figured out how to do this, would you guys watch me play some old games here? I'm going to show you this. This is a little Sega system. You can't see it, but it's a little Sega system. You can play games like Madden 93. Let me get better lighting here. Oh, that's still bad lighting, but Madden 93 and NBA. And then I've got games that are just built in the system. I got all 3 of the original Mortal Kombats. You'll see, watch. Mortal Kombat 3, 1 and 2. You've also got Alex the Kid, Alien Storm. I know a lot of these games Captain Ouch was doing as part of his A to Z Sega Genesis game series, but got Altered Beasts, Arrow Flash, Bonanza Bros, Columns, Comic Zone, which is a great game. Crackdown, yeah, I don't know enough about it. I think it's supposed to be kind of similar to Bad Dudes if Bad Dudes had a gun, kind of like the Sega's equivalent of Contra. Decap Attack, which is like a zombie-themed game. You got the Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That game is really fun, especially with a friend. It's good. E-SWAT, Eternal Champions, Fatal Labyrinth, Flicky, Gain Ground. All 3 of the OG Golden Axes, boys. Jewel Master, and then you've got Kid Chameleon. Check this out, Phantasy Star 3 and 2. 2 I started. I still gotta get used to that game. I learned it's basically Sega's equivalent of Final Fantasy, but it's a very weird game, but it's a good game. This is a game that, on a little portable system, I would play consistently. It's basically, if you took Rayman, put him in space, and then give him a star-shaped characteristic instead of what he has, that's what Rystar was. Basically, Sega came out with Rystar before Sony had Rayman. And then you've got Shadow Dancer. I think Smash JT, shoutouts to him. Check out his channel. I think he played this game on his channel, Shinobi 3. It was either him or Megadan. One of them played it. Shoutouts to them. And then you got Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic Spinball, Sonic Hedgehog 1 and 2, which I will not play through this. I'd rather play Sonic Mania because this thing's like delay on it. I'd show you guys. It's just, ugh, it's atrocious for this little mini thing. You got a game called The Ooze, Vector Man, which is a really cool game. I was actually playing that while I was watching T-Belly's stream last night. It was hilarious. Virtual Fighter 2, which is a good game. Shining Force 2, Super Thunder Blade. And you got a bunch of generic ass random games. And then you got these games, like I said, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 at the very, very end. With all these trash games just in there for the sake of being in there. And that's that. And then, now here's the thing. I'm going to hold down the reset button while I do this, so give me a second here. going to put this up against here. I'm going to hold down the reset button, and I'm going to put in John Madden Football 93, and I'm going to let the reset button go, and it should work. If not, there you go, some John Madden Football 93. And if I hold the reset button again, you guys are going to go to black here for a moment. If I put in this, hopefully it works first try. Sometimes it has an issue. Look at that. Electronic Arts, old school startup. Lakers versus Celtics in the NBA playoffs. And that was in a copyright of like 1982 from Sega. And it's even cooler, check this out. The rosters are those that you would expect. Like you have Larry Bird, you'd have whoever was on there. All the different teams. You got the conference teams if you play those. Some really good games. My preferred game is Mortal Kombat 2 because of this. I'm going to show you guys here in a hot minute. Give me a second. I want you guys to see this. And I'm also going to set this up that it'll allow rotation, I think. Nope. Well, yep, orientation is locked because I'm stuck on landscape. Check this out. Mortal Kombat 2, right? Let me see if I can position this so that it won't fall on me because it would be bad news. That's as best you guys are going to get, but just watch. You can see I'm setting up the game right now. Alright, so if we go left, down, left, right, down, right, left, right. Yes! Okay, I remember the code. No damage, player 1, free play, back, controls is 6 button, done, start. Now, you guys won't be able to tell, but over here is Scorpion. I've learned his fatality. I'm only going to do it just so you guys can see his fatality on this screen. After that, it's... And of course, I got to deal with frickin' Sub-Zero. Why am I not surprised it's going to be this jack-off? And yes, I'm using cheats so I can have a bit of a break. Because this game is a pain in the ass on any difficulty. Okay. And when it gets down to it, you guys hopefully will get to see on screen. If not, I'll have to adjust it. You'll see me do the fatality, which is really cool because they explode off the impact. Come on. That's right. Block, down, down, up, up. There it is. Boom. Watch this. I thought that was always one of the coolest fatalities in Mortal Kombat. And, like I said, if you guys want to see frickin' Mortal Kombat 1, 2, or 3, post it down in the comments. If you want to see one of those games that I listed there, NBA or Madden, on the Sega, until I get a PS4, post it in the comments. If you want any of the games that are on this little thing right here, this tiny little thing, let me know. Anyways, T-Belly, my boy, watch your back. Because when I come, you won't see it. But I could give you sweet chin music. I could give you an RKO. I could pedigree you out of nowhere, my boy. Just bring it, because watch. Because I have a friend who's getting me Fire Pro Wrestling digitally. And I'm going to tell you this, T-Belly. The moment you and I have a one-on-one match on that game, you can pick Omega, you can pick Okada, you can pick the best damn NJPW wrestler you want. I will come after you with any wrestler you're not expecting, and I will beat you. 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it, T-Belly. All there is to it. Because, like I said, I don't need to look at that manual. I could go back and watch a video because I learned there's one guy that if you use him and you know how to use him correctly, you can do a freaking cutter out of nowhere. And it can land to a guaranteed critical if it's on the right guy. Because some people have this thing in the game with a thing called a critical. And by that, it basically means, T-Belly, there's one of 3 scenarios. You can either win by pin. Well, depending on the match. If you're doing a generic match where there's hardcore rules or whatever and you can pin or submit wherever, then there's pinfall, submission, or critical. But in a standard match, of course, there could be pinfall, submission, count out, disqualification, whatever. But usually in Fire Pro Wrestling games, it's usually pinfall, submission, or critical are the finishes. Unless, of course, like I said, a match where you have a count out. Because when it's a pinfall, submission, or critical, if your opponent is set up so that their finishing scenario is a finisher, it's GG. because all you have to do is hit a finishing move out of nowhere, and it's over. And from my knowledge, Fire Pro Wrestling World is no different than the Game Boy Advance game, which means it's literally a 2-button combo if you do it right. And you can do so many moves. And I bet you, T-Belly, I bet you I could play you first day, you and me, the first time I get the game, I could play you. And I could just set you up, beat you down, and I could hit you with that one winged angel as Kenny Omega. And it's night-night. Because literally, I don't know if you know this, T-Belly, I will tell you this, I'm not going to cheat you out of it. What you got to start doing when you play it, T-Belly, if you see this, is use weak moves. Use your weak grapples, strikes, whatever. When you tie up, just hit the weak grapple or strike button and do combinations with the D-pad with those. Then work your way into the medium combos, then go into your strong grapples, and then when you're ready, hit your strong grapple and medium, whatever, you know, your 2 stronger buttons together, and you can do different moves. For example, like if you had Undertaker, you could have it so he could do a choke slam, and then you have like a sidewalk slam, and then maybe the tombstone. Because usually 2 moves in the 4-button press on the D-pad. Usually your wrestler's 4-button presses out of the 4 different scenarios with the D-pad. Usually up in something will do 1 move, down in something will do your main finisher, or it'll just be the 2 together, and then sometimes your left and right might do a different move. So for example, like if you remember like in the old WWF games, if you did a grapple as somebody one way, you might get a tombstone, or you might get the choke slam, or you might get a sidewalk slam. It all varies between wrestlers too. So like Omega, you might, as a running strike, if you do it as a finisher, he might have the running strike is the V trigger, I think it's called, is what he calls it. It's either the knee or V, I can never remember because they say it so quick. Pretty sure it's the V trigger. You could hit that pretty much out of nowhere as him. You could even set it up so you could have somebody like Roman Reigns in the game, and you could just have Spear City. I mean, come on, it's literally, if you play the old, think of like the old WWE Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain games. It takes the control scheme and build it around like an old school 2D graphic style, and you basically have Fire Pro Wrestling in a nutshell. And everybody's already claiming that because it's so good already, as it is, that it's going to basically knock 2K19 out of the water, because there's things that are in this game. There's only like maybe 4 basic things that are in this game that 2K19 probably won't have. That's the ability to put in custom music for your wrestler. Number 1. Number 2 is how big of a community creation is it's going to have before 2K19 even comes out. And by that, you could pretty much have any wrestler. You could have, like, let's say you wanted to have Mass Taker from that era when Taker came out and Kane wasn't out there for storyline purposes. And you had Undertaker come out with a Kane mask, and he'd win the match. And then he'd show his face, and that meant he was facing Austin for the title at the pay-per-view. You could have, like, that. And then you could have different matches. Like, the match types you can choose in that game are more creative and advanced than anything. And you could have, like, a custom referee that could be an Earl Hebner. And you could have him be the referee, and you could have it in, like, an ECW-style matchup or something, and have freaking Omega versus somebody like Mikey Whipwreck. Like, there's endless possibilities with the game. Plus, it's supposed to have an add-on that's coming out that's going to give it a DLC, so you can have, like, a story mode like one of the old ones had. Minus the darkness, because apparently in one of the old Super Nintendo, like early Super Nintendo Fire Pro games, there was a storyline in a Japan-only one where basically your character would start out as a rookie, and he'd work his way up to the pros, and eventually he'd win, and then there was the whole storyline of, oh, your girlfriend breaks up with you kind of thing or something, and Ric Flair causes you to go chaotic and, you know, lose your mind, and then you basically commit suicide. It was like some super-duper dark thing for a game. But yeah, basically, it's going to have story where you're going to play as like the different wrestlers from like their different weight classes. So you have like the open weight championship, the never open weight heavyweight championship, IWGP heavyweight title, the tag titles, all that stuff. But you're also going to have pretty much anybody that's in New Japan right now is going to be automatically included in the game when you get it. There's going to be so much stuff for this game. Everybody's saying it's going to outdo 2K19, and it's going to push 2K19 down to the low end of the stuff. Aside from that, like I said, I pray that I'm going to get that PS4. Odds are I probably will, and I'll have a 1 terabyte hard drive. It's going to have MLB The Show, and then I'll play all the other games and everything else. And aside from that, stay hip, stay cool, do what you do, be you, Don't let YouTube tell you what the fuck you can and can't do. And I'm going to tell you this. If I ever become the richest man in the world, I will buy out the rights to YouTube and Google, and I will make it so that the YouTube policies work the way they used to, where all you had to do was have a certain amount of watch time, certain amount of subscribers, and you get your automatic monetization. And I'll say, I don't give a fuck what the ad revs want. I don't give a damn what they want for fucking, you know, things you can say and not say to have it. The only rules I'd have is be considerate of each other. That's it. Literally, I would have basically YouTube work as a Twitch variation. But I would also buy out Twitch so that I don't have to have a copyright from Twitch and all that other crap. And aside from that, like I said, be you, do what you do. And until then, I will see you all next time. It's your boy, DOA Hitman, signing out.